Hello everyone, it's me, Mitch Murphy, the red-pilled rapper on thoughtcrimes.ca and the Jack Clausen Radio Network on all streaming platforms. But I gotta tell you about one streaming platform in particular, and that is Podomatic, and that is also our sponsor for today. Boys, that really is, man, Podomatic, and it's a real genuine sponsor. Now, I don't need you to do anything. There's no promo code, you don't need to send money, there's nothing like that. I can't, you know what, it's actually not true to say that I don't need you to do anything, because I need you to do something. I need you to download a little app called Podomatic, P-O-D-O-M-A-T-I-C. I think that was right, actually. That was pretty impressive. So, Podomatic is the world's best podcast service in human history. And it's probably our third line of defense, you know, because we have every intention of being censored. We're already censored on Canadian radio, you know, censored on Facebook. I still have my page, which is good news, but the Jack Clausen network does not. But Podomatic, they're our homies. They really are, and we love them. We love them to biddies. You know, and so we just want to get you to download that app and listen to us there. You know, right now you can find us everywhere, thanks to Podomatic. You can hear us on Spotify and, you know, Apple Podcasts, wherever you think. But it's because of Podomatic that you can do that. So, if you want to support the show, and you don't want to give us money, if you want to give us money, subscribe to the Gum Road on thoughtcrimes.ca. Just tick that little thing on the top right of thoughtcrimes.ca and scroll all the way down to support the show. Bing, bang, boom. It's like $1 a month. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. We're hoping to get 100 million people to sign up so that we will get $100 million every month. And just so you guys know, if we get some more subscribers on there, it will not be for naught. You know, me and Jack are doing it commie style, where we're going to pool the money and put it into the show. You know, maybe we'll get Karen 1776 on mic. Maybe we'll do all kinds of crazy stuff. But without further ado, I would like to bring to you the infamous interview that happened today. Today, man. Today was the day that I had an infamous interview. So, there's some obvious parts of it that we're going to have to talk about, but it's an interesting thing that whenever somebody starts on my side, on the freedom side, whenever one of us starts to make sense, you're never talking about the conversation that we had. You know what I mean? And so that's why I started the Red Pill Rapper Show, because I've noticed that whenever somebody who's freedom-oriented starts making sense, what you'll find is what's called an ad hominem attack. What you'll find is they'll go for a character assassination, and sometimes it's even a true one. You know what I mean? Sometimes whoever is speaking the truth is a bad person. And it's up to you guys, Corona, to decide whether or not that's the case with me. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm Mr. Perfect. I'm a great man. I'm the best thing ever. Because that's up to the observer. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm a good person. I do my best. I care about my friends. I care about the people around me. And I love all my fellow man. So I can tell you that. But it really is, you know, and some of my worst sides have been shown on this show. You know, because I'm honest. Because, you know, I just can't stand the fakeness of a lot, you know, most people around me. Like, a lot of people are very fake. You know, a lot of people that like to, you know, give me a lot of crap on my Facebook about my views on how to deal with corona. I happen to know that they don't wear a mask when they're with their friends. And some of these people I also happen to know traveled for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, some of the people that are in vehement opposition to me when we're together in private, they don't wear it because they know it's bullshit. They know that a virus can go through that mask like no problem. Everybody I know that's tested positive, not everybody, but pretty much everybody I know that tested positive wears a diaper all day and sanitizes everything. So I don't know what you want me to say. But yeah, man, the infamous situation today is an interview that I did with Infonews Kelowna. You know, and this gal, you know, she was very nice to me, very sweetie pie, you know what I mean? And you know what, in her defense, dude, like, the article wasn't too bad. Like, it wasn't like just a giant hit piece like Globalist News. Like, I can tell they're trying to make some semblance of effort to be fair or neutral or whatever. But with that being said, they had to go with the ad hominem because I made too much sense. Now, I'm going to show you the interview here. So I'm just going to start playing it, and just kind of stop it as I go and talk about it. So here we go.
My name's Mitch Murphy, M-I-T-C-H-M-U-R-P-H-Y. Most people around here know me as the Red Pill Rapper.
They do know me as the Red Pill Rapper.
Okay, and then, sorry, originally from here.
So here comes this guy. He's going, don't even talk to her. Don't even talk to her. She's just going to lie about you. You know what I mean? Like, he's just going off. Now, I just screwed something up, so I'm going to start it over here. Ready? But yeah, that guy...
M-I-T-C-H-M-U-R-P-H-Y. Most people around here know me as the Redpill Rapper. I host the Redpill Rapper Show.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And
here
then,
comes
so
Buddy.
you're originally from the area?
Oh, it's okay. I'm recording. We're okay.
Are you from the area?
I'm like, he's recording. It's okay.
So what made you decide to come out here today?
I believe in choice. You know, I believe that,
Boom, right there. Why'd you come out here today? I believe in choice. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, that's really like what it boils down to. I just believe in, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and choice. That's it. Sorry.
you know, we have self-autonomy, and I believe in individualism.
Have you been attending a lot of these?
Now, those words, it's so funny. Self-autonomy and individualism. Like, those words are very triggering to people on the other side. Because every problem that they come to us with requires a collectivist solution. You know what I mean? Like global warming, we're all in this together. And corona, we're all in this together. We all have to do the same thing in order to fix this. We all have to stop driving cars to stop the world from exploding. And we all have to, stay home to defeat corona. But an individualist would say different individuals have to do different things. You know what I mean? Like maybe the manufacturers in China need to do a better job with their carbon emissions. It's like, sorry. Or maybe we need to bring manufacturing here and oil refining here because we'll pollute more, but we can keep a closer eye on it and do a better job. Again, sorry.
Yeah, since the very early days. Yeah.
And what made you?
And that's funny. So she goes, "Have you been attending a lot of these protests?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I think she was expecting me to be like sheepish. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, this is my first time. So don't call me any mean names.
Can you elaborate for instance on like what you mean by freedom?
Yeah, that's okay. So, we're dealing with a health issue, right? The coronavirus. I believe it's a real virus. I'm not, I don't think that it's completely fabricated, but, I believe that I'm, as an individual, a sovereign individual, I have the right to assess the risk and act accordingly instead of having...
Now, I'm happy with how I worded that. I said, we're dealing with a health issue, because we are, you know what I mean? Whether you believe it's the flu or not, people are dying of something, and I happen to believe in like the mainstream narrative to a certain extent. A lot of people who listen to the show disagree with me, and that's okay, man. The difference between me and these like globalist news organizations is that it's okay. We can disagree. It's all right. I still love you. But I'm just like bringing a very basic idea is that maybe it should be up to the individual to assess their own risk. Maybe it's not my responsibility to save everyone's grandma. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's up to the people who are in charge of these long-term care homes to make sure that the people aren't catching corona. Maybe instead of testing the whole population that we know is going to survive, maybe we should just put the onus on the people who are taking care of whoever's at risk. Crazy idea, right?
My actions mandated by unelected officials. I believe that I have...
Now, that was an interesting one right there. I'm all like, and I think I did a good job of slipping in the real hard truth, which is that like, this is tyranny. This is a dictatorship. Because I'm saying like, I believe that I have the right to make decisions for myself. And I don't believe that Bonnie Henry has the right to tell me how to live every aspect of my life. Again, sorry. I didn't vote for her. You know what I mean? I didn't. And so I don't get why she gets to make all these decisions for me.
I have the right to make my own choices, and act as I see fit.
Do you believe when Lindsay gets up there and speaks, do you believe everything that happens?
Now, she goes, do you believe when Lindsay gets up there and speaks, do you believe everything he says? And like, again, this is like there's probably another word for this. I should ask my friend who's into all this like word stuff, is that instead of addressing what I said, which is true, there are unelected officials dictating every aspect of our lives. Instead of addressing that, she swivels over to David Lindsay, who's, the leader of, the quote-unquote leader of the movement, right? And I wouldn't even agree with that, but that's how they're framing it, right? And it's funny, because we're all having issues with Dave. Lots of people want to speak, and, lots of people want me to perform my music. I want to perform my music, and he's not having it. And we got issues internally, but it's like it says in the Talmud, right? Don't let the goyim in on your infighting. like it's, I try not to, I didn't want to get into it with her because, at the end of the day, I do support what Dave has done. It's just like we've got some infighting going on. You know what I'm saying? So let's move it on here.
it depends what you mean by that, because his main message is a message of freedom. Now, everything that he says about data and statistics and about PCR tests, that's all individual things, and you know, I support his right to say it. That doesn't mean I've researched everything that he says, but the general message I do support.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? Or anything else that you'd like to let me know?
Yeah,
So I feel like that was really well put, you know? It's like, I'm trying to let her know that, like, we're not following Dave. We're not there for David Lindsay. We're just not, man. We're there for, you know, freedom. Like, and what I would like to say is, like, instead of focusing on Dave, talk to us. But the problem is that when they talk to us, if they're not lying about us, they're trying to make us look bad. And we'll get more into that as, you know, as we move into this interview here. But, yeah, man, it's just a big mess.
So I host the Red Pill Rapper Show, right? And I started doing it because I'm not an expert. I'm not a health expert, but I'm very upset and disturbed by the media's coverage of what we've got going on. I feel like with them reporting on every case as an outbreak, you know, to me, it feels like a lot of fear-based propaganda as opposed to information. And to anybody that's in what I would consider to be mainstream news, and to me, like, my biggest issues are with Castanet and Kelowna Now, and, you know, Global News and CTV. You know, I really despise the pushing of fear, because I think that fear is unhealthy, stress is unhealthy, and that we should be taught to take care of ourselves and to live free.
When you go back to about...
So that, again, I feel like I did a pretty good job, man. Because I just think, like, I'm trying to redirect the conversation back to why I'm there. I'm not there to defend David Lindsay. I'm not there for any other reason other than my beliefs align with most of the people here. You know what I mean? Like, you can see a sign in the background, right? It says, "Stay human." And, dude, like, it's so important. We've totally lost our humanity, dude. We just love calling each other names, and, like, it's just a big mess, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so like a good example is like, and there's been a ton of these, but like Superstore. They said we've had an outbreak at Superstore, and what that means is one employee tested positive at one point, you know. And I think that when the public hears a word like outbreak, they think, oh, an outbreak, like that, you know. It's almost like a trigger word to trigger an emotional response.
Now, this is funny, because I wonder if she's heard my podcast, because, like, if I was speaking candidly to the viewers, the way I would describe what I'm saying right now is I would say they're casting a magic spell. You know, that's what I would say. I would say they're using these buzzwords and these trigger words because we're pre-programmed to react to them because of movies and music and, you know, all these commercials and TV shows. All these different things have programmed us to have a certain response when we hear certain phrases, certain things. But, you know, I'm talking to a normie here, so I got to take it easy. I got to relax a little bit, right? And I feel like I did a pretty good job. And, like, it was funny because when she asked me for a specific example of, like, my issues with mainstream news, right? And it's like, I feel like a leftist at you know, an anti-Trump rally, and they asked me, like, oh, give me 3 policies that you don't agree with, and they're like, he's racist, because like, you know, it's hard being put on the spot like that, right? Like, I didn't plan on doing an interview. Like, it just, you know, I'm like just running off like half a cup of coffee. I'm out there in the morning. This is how I'm spending my weekend, and it's hard, man. It's hard, you know, and that's why, like, they're able to get the funniest videos of leftists ever. And you see the same thing at pro-Trump rallies, right? But I feel like I did a pretty good job being under the gun and all. You know what I'm saying?
It gets clicks, you know, and I get it. You know, I do a certain level of clickbait stuff on my page, but I do think that it's a lot of it is based to get the public worked up and also turn ourselves against each other. Like phrases like anti-masker, labeling an entire freedom rally as anti-mask, when you know, we're here for a litany of reasons, but the general vibe is just freedom.
I was so happy I said it that way too, man, because I really wanted to get that in there, that we're not an anti-mask rally. You know what I mean? And I felt like I was really pushing that individualism message as, you know, pretty well, where I'm just saying, like, there's people in here that will tell you to take the mask off. You know, there's people in here that are assholes. There's people in here that are rude. And, you know, I'm more aligned with those people than the normies, but I don't like that. You know, I don't like seeing that kind of stuff. I've even heard that, like, Dave Lindsay has done that stuff, and it makes us all look bad. And because we're not there to make everyone take off the diaper. We're there to, like, get everybody on our side. It's like, you know, if there was like a white nationalist group that wanted to rally at this same park every Sunday and the cops were fining them for having the wrong opinions, I would be like vehemently in opposition to that. You know, I would say they have every right to say what they want to say. Leave these people alone. If you don't want to hear it, don't go. You don't have to listen, you know? Anyway, here we go.
So, like when we say anti-mask, nobody here is wearing a mask.
Right.
So is that not justified?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because we all might agree on that one specific thing, but we're not here because of the mask. And individuals might be, but the reason that we all gather and we all come together is because we believe in freedom of choice. And it just so happens that we all, like you said, we all have made the choice to not wear a mask today. But to me, honestly, it seems like common sense that if you're outside, you're in the air, it makes sense to just breathe fresh air and not, you know, breathe recycled air. That has a lot of carbon dioxide. Like, we all know that we breathe out toxins. I don't see why we should be recycling it and breathing.
Now, as you guys know, I'm not Mr. Facts and Logic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not out there to, like, argue about data and statistics. Hey, there's Chris Allnut in the back. Corona. You know, I'm not out there because of the data and the statistics. I'm out there because they're stomping all over the charter. But I felt like this was just like a good, you know, example of like, yeah, it's common sense, man. Like, I don't see a problem with being out in the fresh air and breathing air, you know? And it's like very basic science, very basic, like we expel toxins. We all know that. Like we poop and we pee toxins and we breathe it out too. Like that's what our bodies do is we filter bad stuff out and we put it out. So why would you put this diaper on your head to like keep it all in your face? It doesn't make any sense to me, man. Now, sorry if I prolong that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the whole clip, so start to finish. Let me know if it sounds okay. And then I'm just going to talk about it at length at the end here. And I'll be quiet.
M-I-T-C-H, M-U-R-P-H-Y. Most people around here know me as the Red Pill Rapper. I host the Red Pill Rapper Show.
Oh, okay. And then, so are you originally from the area?
Oh, it's okay. I'm recording. We're okay.
Are you from the area? Like,
Yeah.
are you from Kelowna?
Yeah.
So what made you decide to come up here today?
I believe in choice. You know, I believe that, you know, we have self-autonomy, and I believe in individualism.
Have you been attending a lot of these protests?
Yeah, since the very early days, yeah.
And what made you, can you elaborate for instance, even like what you mean by freedom of individuality?
Yeah, that's okay. So, like, we're dealing with a health issue, right? The coronavirus, like, I believe it's a real virus. I'm not, you know, I don't think that it's completely fabricated, but, you know, I believe that I'm, as an individual, a sovereign individual, I have the right to assess the risk and act accordingly, instead of having my actions mandated by unelected officials. I believe that I have the right to make my own choices, you know, and act as I see fit.
Do you believe when Lindsay gets up there and speaks, do you believe everything he has to say?
It depends what you mean by that, because his main message is a message of freedom. Now, everything that he says about data and statistics and about PCR tests, that's all individual things, and you know, I support his right to say it. That doesn't mean I've researched everything that he says, but the general message I do support.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? Or anything else that like what you
Yeah, so I host the Red Pill Rapper Show, right? And I started doing it because I'm not an expert. I'm not a health expert, but I'm very upset and disturbed by the media's coverage of what we've got going on. I feel like with them reporting on every case as an outrage, you know, to me it feels feels like a lot of fear-based propaganda as opposed to information. And I just, to anybody that's in what I would consider to be mainstream news, and to me, like, my biggest issues are with Castanet and Kelowna Now, and, you know, global news and CTV. You know, I really despise the pushing of fear, because I think that fear is unhealthy, stress is unhealthy, and that we should be taught to take care of ourselves and to live free.
When you go back to the about seeing every global case as an exposure,
Yeah.
can you elaborate a little bit on that? Like, what specifically?
Yeah, so like a good example is like, and there's been a ton of these, but like Superstore. They said we've had an outbreak at Superstore, and what that means is one employee tested positive at one point, you know. And I think that when the public hears a word like outbreak, they think, oh, an outbreak, like that, you know. It's almost like a trigger word to trigger an emotional response, which gets clicks, you know, and I get it. You know, I do a certain level of clickbait stuff on my page, but I do think that it's a lot of it is based to get the public worked up and to also turn ourselves against each other. Like phrases like anti-masker, labeling an entire freedom rally as anti-masker, when you know, we're here for a litany of reasons, but the general vibe is just freedom.
Like when we say anti-masker, nobody here is wearing a mask.
Right.
So is that not justified?
I don't think so, because we all might agree on that one specific thing, but we're not.
Sorry to interrupt. I know I said I wouldn't, but I feel like you might not have been able to hear what she said there. So her basic point is that nobody here is wearing a mask. Why shouldn't we call it an anti-mask rally? And here's my response.
Here because of the mask, and individuals might be, but the reason that we all gather and we all come together is because we believe in freedom of choice, and it just so happens that we all, like you said, we all have made the choice to not wear a mask today. But to me, honestly, it seems like common sense that if you're outside, you're in the air, it makes sense to just breathe fresh air and not, you know, breathe recycled air. That has a lot of carbon dioxide. Like, we all know that we breathe out toxins. I don't see why we should be recycling it and breathing it in at all times. It makes sense if you're doing open heart surgery or if you're in a sterile environment, but I don't believe the world should be a sterile environment. I believe that exposure to germs is a healthy thing.
Pretty much that's all the questions. Thank you for talking to me today.
You know, I think that's it. I would just encourage anybody to check out the Red Pill Rapper Show, and if there's any dissenting opinions, I'd like to have them on my show. And if you guys, you know, I appreciate you talking to me, and I hope that nobody here gives you a hard time about wearing the mask. I know some people like to drop their pants and freak out about it, but I support your right to wear it, and you know, I hope nobody gives you a hard time, and if they do, let me know, because I know these people, and I can talk to them, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, you too. And I do mean that. If anyone gives you a hard time, you can just give me a look or a wave. I'm happy to talk to anybody. Because I genuinely support your right to come here to wear it. So. Yeah, have a good day.
Wow. There it is, man. It's just nuts. All right, I'm at the chat here. Zoomer Gamer says masks are fake and gay. Nice one. So, yeah, man, that was an interesting one. That was very interesting. It's just like ridiculous. Because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through the article here a little bit. Corona, because I felt like I did a pretty good job, man. I felt like I did a pretty good job of just kind of getting my point across. You know, I'm not getting crazy. Infonews Kelowna. I'm just looking that up right now. And you know, it's interesting. Like I was thinking about how in the old world, right? In the old world, here's a girl around my age. She's really cute. You know, she seems like real sweet, real nice. Like, this is the kind of girl that, you know, in the old world, I might have just like. I might have asked her on a date. I might have seen her at a coffee shop and said, hey, and like, she would have, you know, appreciated my, you know, my candor, my, you know, like the way I talk to people. And, but now in this new world, you know, it's just sad. It's just sad, the point that we're at. Like, I could tell at the end of that conversation when I'm telling her, like, just so you know, I fully support your right to wear the mask. You know, if anybody gives you a hard time, come let me know. And I meant it. I really meant it. It's like, if anybody's hassling somebody at that rally over wearing a diaper, like, just stop. Let them wear it. It's okay. And I saw guilt, man. I saw guilt in her eyes at the end, because I think she knew what she was going to do. And here, so I got the article here. I'm just going to scroll, because don't read the article, because I don't want them getting the clicks. So I'm just trying to scroll through to my part, you know. So yeah, so here, like, they bring up, I'm just going to read this, all right? It's just ridiculous. Leading these protests has prompted a closer look at Lindsay's history. In recent weeks, his longtime history of frivolous lawsuits and jail time spent for refusing to pay taxes was put out in focus again by various media outlets, as were his ties to an alleged white supremacist. And Matt, like, what they're talking about is, like, he knows somebody that the media feels comfortable calling a white supremacist. I don't know what they mean by that, and I don't even know, like, who the guy is. It's just amazing. Like, they expect that if they call us a name that we just won't gather anymore. Like, it's just a mess. So, none of which appeared to be a concern for Kelowna resident Mitch Murphy. Like, right there. They started off by being like, oh, he's not concerned about Lindsay's ties to somebody who liked a David Duke video once. Like, it's unbelievable. None of which appeared to be a concern for Kelowna resident Mitch Murphy, also known as the Red Pill rapper. You know what, man? For out of everything, I'm glad she said that. Hopefully some people look that up. He has a song about being a Proud Boy. And hold on, it's underlined. Oh, dude, they linked my SoundCloud. No way. They linked my SoundCloud. Unreal. I have no idea. If you click that, it goes to my SoundCloud. Oh, dude, I'm going to get big shit for this one. And said he joined the rally because he believes in choice. I forgot I even had a SoundCloud. That's hilarious. The federal government is considering adding the Proud Boys and other alt-right groups to Canada's list of terrorist organizations, which is just, they just call you names, man. They just throw these labels around, like, alt-right. Like, that came from Richard Spencer, man. Richard Spencer has nothing to do with those guys, and, like, nobody likes him. You know what I mean? I support his right to say whatever he wants. And then read more. Federal government weighs listing Proud Boys as a terrorist group. But then, okay, at the very least, she puts some of my quotes in here. It says, I believe in self-autonomy and I believe in individualism, he said, adding that he's attended multiple protests. Unlike many there, he believes COVID-19 is real, but said he has the right to assess the risk and act accordingly instead of having, quote, his actions mandated by unelected officials. Murphy believes in Lindsay's main message of, quote, freedom, but regarding data and statistics, that's all individual things, and I support his right to say it. That doesn't mean I've researched everything he says, but the general message I do support, he said. Quote, I'm upset and disturbed by the media's coverage of what's going on. I feel like with them reporting on every case as an outbreak, to me it feels a lot like fear-based propaganda, Murphy said. Murphy said he respected that some want to wear a mask because it's their choice. A police officer at the scene declined on whether to comment on whether any fines would be issued in regards, blah, blah, blah. Man, these people are such hacks. They're such hacks. Like, they wonder why we talk all this shit about them. You know what I mean? It's because they're absolute hacks. And they hate you. Like, they hate the general public, man. I just, like, it's just so disturbing, man. And it, like, I even said to her, I was like, you know, I really don't like the media coverage. That's why I'm trying to, like, start my own medium, you know? And this is why, because, like, when I was talking to her and I was right. I just am, man. Like, they tore up the charter. And, we don't believe in that. Sorry. You know what I mean? But, like, they're willing to, because she knows that by bringing up my Proud Boy song that she can ruin my life, you know? And, like, I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's just so frustrating, man, that they're willing to, like, try to ruin people's lives. They're willing to, like, label and just call names and do these things when, like, we're like me, okay, I'm a plumber, right? I'm a plumber. And I worked through the whole pandemic, and I've seen, like, how bad people's mental health has gotten. Because I see them all the time. You know what I mean? And I've seen people in their house that, like, haven't left other than to go to the grocery store till now, man. And these people are a mess. These people are an absolute mess. And it's, like, I can see it in their eyes. They're, like, totally messed up. And, you know, and, like, I knew I shouldn't have done the interview. I knew I shouldn't have, because, like, I know what it is. I know what they're going to do. But, you know, I did it. I did it, and here we are. You know, at least they plugged the show. I wish they plugged anything but my SoundCloud. Like, it's kind of amazing that, like, of all the things to plug, that's the one I care the least about. Like, oh my goodness, dude, it's just a mess. But dude, it's just, like, the point I want to get across is that the moment anybody makes sense, they do an ad hominem. They do an ad hominem. And I better Google that term for you guys so that you know what the heck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Ad hominem. And you gotta watch for this when you're reading the news, man. So ad hominem. Adjective. Directed against a person rather than the position they are maintaining. Directed against a person rather than the position they are maintaining. And that's just it, man. That's just it. She can't argue what I'm saying because I'm not arguing about facts and logic. You can argue and refute facts and logic all day, but you can't refute the appeal to humanity that I'm offering. And that's what really scares these people, man, is that, you know, and I fully respect and appreciate people that are digging into the facts and like trying to expose that this, you know, virus isn't as bad as they let on. And, you know, I support all that stuff and I'll have those people on my show and I love them. And I think they're doing good work, but that's not what I'm doing. And I think that scares the crap out of these people, man. I think it really freaks them out because it's hard to argue with me because I'm not even trying to argue. I'm trying to convince. Like, I really am, man. I'm not trying to have a debate. I'm just trying to give you another perspective, dude. Because, like, I promise you guys, I promise a lot of people think like me. A lot of people, man. A lot. And they don't want you to know how many people think like me. But I happen to know because I talk to people, go around people, and I'm not even saying we're the majority. What I'm saying is that a lot of people think like me, and what I can tell you is that every single one of them is too scared to speak up. There's very few people, man, very few people. And like, cause you know, a lot of people feel strongly enough to come to a rally, like that mega rally we had, right? We had a ton of people there. And in the past we've had a ton of people. But not like people are freaked out, and it's because of stuff like this. You know, they'll just dig up whatever they can. Like, you know, I'm sure there's gonna be more. This isn't gonna be the last one. And like my people that are fans, I hope you ride or die, man, because like it's coming. It's coming. I'm going up against the beast here, and I just don't care anymore. I don't, man. I don't care about whatever names anyone's gonna call me. I don't care about them digging up my past. And there is some bad stuff in my past, you know. Like I got a DUI when I was 18, and like if you were to ever read the files, you'd be like, holy shit, man. Like it was bad. I had a severe drinking problem, and I was crazy. Like you guys have seen me wild out on stream before. Like alcohol raises my vibration to a level that's uncontrollable, and I'm wild, man. Like it doesn't make me depressed, it doesn't make me slow down, it makes me wild. And I used to do some really wild stuff. There's probably crazy stuff of me out there on film, but the reason these people can't hurt me is because, for one, I know Jesus, and I fear what he's gonna say to me at the end of my life, man. I do. Like I'm worried about it. Like, you know, Jesus is gonna have some strong words for me. I can guarantee that. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. And number two is that I'm correct about my message. You know what I mean? Because my message is not, oh, Corona hasn't killed anyone. And my message is not, oh, Corona's fake. You know, I support those people who are making those arguments. It's all good. But my message is like, we need to deal with this and keep our freedom, because every crisis that we have, someone takes advantage of it by scaring the living crap out of us. Oh, excuse me. Every crisis that we've ever had, someone gets more control over us by taking advantage of it, man. And like that's just, it's like the oldest trick in the book, man. Like think about every crisis we've had, like 9/11, what did we get out of it? War for the bankers and the Patriot Act. You know what I mean? Like they do this every time, man. Every single time. It's getting so old. It's getting so old. And I'm just not going to play their game anymore, man. I'm just not. So now, thoughtcrimes.ca, Jack Clausen Radio Network. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on this because it's playing their game, but I do want to talk about the Proud Boy thing. I do. And you know, it's going to ruffle some feathers. People are going to get upset, but I want to talk about why I made that song, man, because it's important. Let me just dig into it, okay? So, let me start at the beginning. I have been interested in politics and culture for a long time. Years. in fact. And I noticed right away, because like I used to, when I was 18, I was like a blue-pilled Justin Trudeau supporter. I voted for Justin Trudeau because I thought he was virtuous. I was like, man, if you have so much food that your table's full, it's like, and you don't feed the people more, you extend your table and add more people. Like that is, concepts like that were kind of how I thought. That's what made sense to me. And so I thought, like, yeah, let in all these refugees. We've got tons of land. We got like all the resources in the world. Like, let these people in. Because my thinking didn't go much further than that. You know what I mean? And like, I'm sympathetic to the liberal types because I get it, man. I get it. If you don't think too deeply about these things, it's like very cut and dry. And that's, I think, why people really struggle to understand right-wing people and libertarian people, and which is me, by the way. I'm like, I've said before, I'm right-wing, and there's truth to that. It's because, like, as far as the culture is concerned, I am quite right-wing. But politically, I just want the libertarians, man. That's it. I just want to live and let live. That's it. And like, people are so scared of that message because in order to live and let live, you have to believe in the individual and you have to leave responsibility on the individual. And that scares the shit out of these people. So I started watching what was going on and I saw like what leftism was doing to the culture and the kids and the country. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I saw where that path led, man. And I like this do as thou wilt mentality. I didn't like, but we'll get into more another time. So I started listening to guys like Gavin McInnes, who his message made sense to me, dude. It made sense to me because I used to get my value as a man by having a bunch of women around. You know what I mean? And like talking to a bunch of women and sleeping with a bunch of women. And I thought like the more I could turn out by smooth talking and like money and stuff like that, that it made me more of a man. But I started listening to guys like Gavin McInnes and you know, he had a different message, you know, and it was oddly reminiscent of the one I was raised on. And it was just a message of like, take some responsibility for yourself, clean your room, and be monogamous, you know, and just like respect women and find a woman that will respect you. Find a woman that won't talk down to you in front of your friends and like will treat you right. You know what I mean? And that doesn't come free. That's something people don't understand about like a lot of these pro-man groups is that people get upset because we'll say things like find a woman that will respect you. And they think that what we mean is like, because I'm a man, I'm inherently deserving of respect. But that's not what it means. What it means is to build yourself into someone who is deserving of respect and find a woman that gets that understands that and treats you accordingly. You know what I mean? None of this stuff comes free. And so he came with a message of that and like, stop watching porn, stop whacking off all the time, like work hard, have fun. And you know what? Don't be ashamed of being a straight white male. You know what I mean? Don't be ashamed of that. And Gavin McInnes in particular, who founded the Proud Boys, he in particular is quite pro-gay. He's said it a bunch of times and he's like, yeah, I think people are just born gay sometimes and it's okay. And I'm pretty much inclined the same way. You know what I mean? Like I talk a lot about family values and, you know, like the God, man, wife, child hierarchy, like, you know, him and I aren't like the exact same, but in general, we agree that you just live and let live, man. It's okay. Everybody relax. And so Gavin McInnes was like funny. He was really funny. And I liked a lot of the stuff that he was saying. And it made a lot of sense to me. And I didn't agree with everything he said. Sometimes he was like a little over the top or whatever, man. Like he's trying to make compelling radio. Sounds familiar, right? And so sometimes he goes over the top. And, So they had this group and they called themselves Proud Western Chauvinists, you know, and I liked that because they say like the West is best. And I do think that. I think that like the Western, like free market, freedom, liberty mentality is the best in the world, you know, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's okay. That's just what I think. And I agreed with him. So, you know, I kept watching his stuff. I thought he was funny, like, sorry. And then, you know, it was like, most streamers that you listen to will have a name for their, you know, their fans, right? Like Nick Fuentes has the Groypers and, you know, like Your Mom's House, they have, I can't even remember what they call their fans, but whatever. It's like, what else is there? Like Logan Paul, he calls his fans something. Like they all have a name. And that's what the Proud Boys was. It was just people that like Gavin McInnes. And so they'd buy like a t-shirt that said like Proud Boys on it or whatever. And then things started heating up. So things started happening, like when Ann Coulter would go to do a speech at a college, a swarm of like blue-haired feminists would like surround her and try to stop her from speaking. And so, quote unquote, Proud Boys, and like this is an origin story. Keep that in mind. And this is a story that you won't hear, but it's true, man. I watched it. I watched this whole thing happen, and like I'm not crazy. I saw this happen. So Proud Boys, Gavin McInnes fans, would go and they would like surround the speaker and walk with them into the college and keep them safe and get, you know, allow them to speak. That's what would happen. And man, like people saw this happening, and then they listened to these guys, and they honestly, a lot of them sounded like me. They're like, yeah, the West is best. I'm not ashamed of being a white male, and I love freedom. You know what I mean? Like that's like the whole thing. And that's whenever you got any of these guys talking, a lot of them had the same message. And so things just heated up more and more and more. But like, dude, there's just like large groups of young men that feel totally marginalized. And people like can't handle hearing that because they're like, oh my gosh, white people aren't marginalized, blah, 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 blah. But like, man, I'm telling you, a lot of us feel marginalized for being like straight white male. A lot of us do. And it's like a lot of like, if you apply for college, you have to contend with things like affirmative action. You have to contend with a lot of these things. Like if you want to talk, like, and I'm not a victim. I'm not trying to say that any of us are victims. But what I'm saying is that there are things in the system that work against straight white males. There are. And I haven't been affected by it. I haven't. That's the truth. But I know people that have. You know what I mean? People that like aren't let into the army because they have to meet their diversity requirements and stuff like that. Even though they're qualified. You know what I mean? Take a sip of water here. And then, man, the Trump era came in. And that's when everything shifted, dude. And like, BLM too, dude. BLM started happening. They started burning down cities. Like things got really wild really quick. And I was just like an old school Gavin McInnes fan. And you know what, dude? I went through a horrible breakup where like I had this woman that, and again, I'm not a victim. Like I don't want to sound like I'm trying to victimize myself. I'm just trying to tell you what happened leading up to this song. So I had this woman that just like used all the good parts of myself against me. You know what I mean? Like I've got this, one of my songs on YouTube, it's called Basement Sessions. Which one is it? And it kind of tells the whole story, man. Which one was it? I'm just looking it up quick. Sorry, guys. So it's called RV Bars Volume 3. You guys should listen to that one if you want to hear about this nasty woman. And, you know, I wronged her too in the past and whatever. So went through this horrible breakup where this woman just like beat me down. She beat me down, dude. It was like fucking, oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. This one's going on the radio. But, yeah, I don't even want to get into it. So I just went through this nasty, nasty breakup, and this woman hurt me real bad. And then, you know, I sent her back to where she came from. And then what I had tried to do with her was I wanted us to, like, downsize. And she never wanted to do it. She always wanted, like, a fancy place, right? So after she was gone, I was like, screw it, I'll move in an RV. So I moved into an RV and, like, had a huge garden out front and just did some stuff that I wanted to do, trying to, like, not be so damn depressed, dude. And I was living in this RV, and then the lockdowns happened, man. The lockdowns happened, and I just like, I couldn't go to an AA meeting, and none of my friends would see me, and I was just like having a hard time, man. And so, but right before the lockdown, I bought this mic, and I bought like a keyboard, and I bought speakers, and I bought an interface. Like I bought all these things because I thought, like, you know what? If we're gonna be locked down, I better be able to express myself. Otherwise, I don't know what's gonna happen. I might go to the liquor store because, funny enough, government kept the liquor stores open. So I was in this RV, and I just started making the craziest music I could possibly, and I just let it all out, man. I wrote the song called Tiki Torch, like, and all this stuff's on BitChute, right? And I guess it's on my SoundCloud too. I forgot about that. BitChute is Mitch Murphy. SoundCloud is Redpill Rapper. And I just let it out, man, and it felt good. It felt really good to just let out, like, all this aggression and all the stuff I was feeling. And man, like, I watched all these videos of, like, BLM burning cop cars and like taking over city blocks and like burning down police precincts and doing all these things. And I was just having like this hard time, and I was like angry. I was really angry, and I just thought, you know what? If I ever see these people like coming to burn down my town, I'm going to be a Proud Boy. You know what I mean? And I just thought about like, what would I feel like and what would I do if that was my city, if that was my town? And that's the song that I made, man. That's the song. And it's a good song. You know what I mean? I'm going to play it for you in a minute here, so you can get an idea of what happened. But it's an expression. And I'm never going to apologize for expressing a feeling, because I'm not the only one that's ever felt like that before, man. And if you stifle it and you tell someone that they're not allowed to feel like that, it's just going to fester and get worse. And man, I guarantee there are people who felt like me that listened to that song and felt better. And they thought, you know what? I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's a ton of artists like that for me that expressed like I remember there's this guy. Actually, I shouldn't say his name because he deleted this album. So when this kid was bullied really bad in high school in Edmonton, and he wrote this album, and one of the songs was about like a school shooting, and it was detailing him going into the school and shooting it up and killing all his bullies. And listening to his song didn't make me want to kill anybody. It made me feel better, because like when I listened to that song, I was like, I was a grown man at the time, but I was like being bullied by people that I worked with, right? I was like 18 years old in the trades. Anyone who's been in that situation knows what that feels like. Like, old school tradesmen are brutal. They'll throw wrenches at your head. They'll like push you in the mud. They'll figure out whatever will hurt you, and then they'll say it. And I remember listening to that and just being like, just feeling better, man. Just feeling better. And so when I was feeling like that, watching all these like city blocks burn down, I just felt like, yeah, I should express this. I should just express it. I'm not a member of any Proud Boys organization, but I just thought, you know what, dude, if I ever see communists coming through my town, or like for whatever reason they're doing it, if I ever see like large groups of people like burning down small business of like my friends and my family, then I'm going to be a Proud Boy. That's what I'm going to do. And I felt like that, man. And I expressed it, and I'm not going to say sorry. And that song's probably going to follow me forever, but I'm just like, sorry. Sorry if it hurt your feelings. But I felt like that. You know what I mean? Like, why is it that 50 Cent and Eminem and Dr. Dre can talk about raping women and murdering people for no reason, and like shooting up a nightclub? Why are they allowed to talk about that, but I'm not allowed to talk about feeling like this? But you know why it is because it goes against the narrative. It goes against the narrative, man. Like, they don't want to hear this. But as far as I'm concerned, these people that are upset over that song are just like the Puritan Republicans of the 90s that were trying to ban NWA. Like, they're just the same thing. They're like, oh, I don't like hearing that. He shouldn't be allowed to say that. But screw you, man. For real. Like, screw you people who think that you get to tell me what to think, what to say, what to do. That's not how this works. You know what I mean? And like, again, with this show, I know for a fact there are a lot of people that feel like me that feel insane. You know, like, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, right? And when I see a need, I want to capitalize on it. And dude, throughout this whole lockdown, I've just felt like I can't be the only insane person on this planet. There must be other people that feel like me. And so I started expressing it, you know, and like, not everybody has to agree with me, but I want everyone to know that if you feel like this, you're not alone. You're not alone. And you're not a bad person for trying to change it. You know, and man, these people will try. They'll try their best to make you feel like a bad person for feeling like this, and you better believe they'll try to make you feel like a bad person for standing up for what you believe in. Like, it's so funny, man. All my teachers growing up were like, always be yourself and always stand up for what you believe in, no matter what. And then I grow up and I'm just like, hey, I'm feeling like this. I'm going to express it. They're like, stop. I'm like, you know what? I don't like what our government's doing. I'm going to protest. They're like, you're going to kill everyone's grandma. It's just unbelievable, man. But you know what, dude? Like, there's a red pill nation out there. I know that there is. I know there's a people that read these media stories and watch the news and just go like, this is garbage. These people are trash. So now you got to deal with the red pill rapper, man. If they had done like incrementally better reporting on half this stuff, you wouldn't have to deal with me. People wouldn't listen to the show. They wouldn't want to hear this like, blue collar guy like spouting off about all these different things. They just like put up with it. But dude, like, the news is so bad. It's so bad. It's just an absolute joke. And so that's why you got to deal with me, man. That's why you got to deal with me. And I'm gonna play you my song here and like just understand. Here, hold on. I'm gonna message Jack. I'm gonna play my song and kill stream if you're ready. And I just want to get the message out to people, especially like angry young men, that like, it's okay to be a straight white male and it's okay to be angry. You know what I mean? Like most of us know we're not better than anybody else. We're just like everybody else. But that idea in and of itself is like racist. You know what I mean? They can't handle it. And it, like all these like white liberals want to coddle every minority in this country because they think that they're better than them. You know, I hate to be like the classic Charlie Kirk guy. And be like, oh, we're not the racist. The left is the real racist. Like, I hate that stuff. But like, there's a lot of truth there, man. Like, if you have a message of individualism and being anti-collectivist, like they consider you a racist because they think that we need to collectively lift up all these minorities. But it's not true, man. It's not true. We just need to, as individuals, take care of our own communities. You know what I mean? And just build each other up. You know, like, I don't know, man. I'm just like, it really hurts, man. It really hurts what's going on because they've got no problem calling Proud Boys like a white nationalist organization when their leader's name is Enrique. You know what I mean? And like, people still don't see it. They still don't see it. It's just that if you have a message that goes against globalism, they'll call you one of these names every time, man. Every single time. Like Pat King, me, David Lindsay, like, and dude, it doesn't matter how much of a stretch it is. They'll just say it. It doesn't matter if it's true. It doesn't matter if it's not. They'll just say it. But you got to watch out for these ad hominem attacks, man. As soon as you start telling the truth, they'll attack your character. And man, they might be right. Maybe I am Mr. Racist, bad man, horrible person, whatever. Maybe I am. It's up to you. It's not up to me to tell you what I am. It's up to you to decide what I am. Listen to my show, man, and decide for yourself. It's not my job to convince you of what I am. So, but it's sure as hell not the media's job. I'll tell you that. It's up to you. It's up to you. So if you're gonna slander my name, if you're gonna talk shit, if you're gonna like tell people I'm bad or whatever, you better watch the show first, man. You better watch the show. And you know, maybe you got some good points and maybe I want to hear it. It's just, it hurts, man. These people that I grew up with that know me, that know what I am, and they know how much love I have for people around me, and they know how much I care. They've got no problem. They've got no problem at all. Just like calling me these things. It's not going to stop me. It's not. Because I'm right. I'm right. If we let the state shred up and tear up the Charter of Rights and Freedoms right now, if we don't pay for it, the future generation will pay for it. You know, like I noticed something really weird yesterday, or not yesterday, it would have been a couple days ago. So I read an article and it was saying DC is in lockdown after the Capitol Hill riots. And I thought, that never used to happen, you know? And like we've had people storm the Capitol before, and we've had them burn down cities. And they never used to go into lockdown. But you know why they did it? Is because we know what it is. They taught us how to do it, and we've been there before. We did it for like 9 months. You know what I mean? And they're not just going to do it every time the seasonal flu comes around. Like they're going to do it for a litany of different reasons. Like, man, I guarantee they're going to do it just to like tank a specific stock, or they're going to do it to like inflate a certain currency like that. Because all they have to do, man, is show you a graph on the TV. That's it. That's it. They just got to show you a graph and use some scary words, and you'll stay in your house. You know, not me, man, not me. And it's coming to a place now where like I'm pretty convinced that one day I'm gonna be put in a gulag, man, like a thought criminal gulag. Because dude, think about it. Really think about it. If they had a bus show up and they packed every quote unquote anti-masker in that bus and shipped them away to be re-educated, you know, people wouldn't be that upset. They wouldn't. They hate us, man. They really hate us. And just hurts. So I'm going to play my infamous song, you know, my infamous song. But just keep in mind, dude, I expressed myself, and I'm not going to apologize for feeling a certain kind of way, you know. But I love you people. I love my fellow man. Be brave, live free, take your vitamin D, and hug your family. Support the Gumroad, dude, because I'm going to lose my job really quick. You know, I got a certain amount of plumber money to like go into this show and different things. But I'm not going to be able to keep my job much longer. I can, especially after this article. If you guys can, please just like go to thoughtcrimes.ca, hit that button on the top right, scroll down and support the Gumroad. Yeah. Because I'm not going to stop. I don't care if I have to work at a gas station. I don't care. I can't stop. I can't stop. I have to tell the truth because nobody's saying it, man. And I know people want to hear it because we get like 1,000 downloads every episode. You know what I mean? And it differs, right? But like there was one point where I'm not going to like flex our numbers or anything, whatever. Just know that I love you people and take care, man.
We're the make your mama so proud boys. Sober thoughts means taking shots of LaCroix. We got brown boys, we got round boys, we got light-skinned boys and who driving big toys. We got boys all around the world, boys, but not one single soy. Boy, shit is not allowed, boy. We are not the mild choice. We are the wild boys. We're the proud boys. We're the proud boys who might get a little wild, boy. Been repping that shit for a while, boy. Fuck with us, we might get real loud, boy. We are proud boys, I'm a fucking proud boy. Try to take our culture and we'll put you in the ground, boy. When they hurt you, they smile wide, boy. We are proud boys, protecting our town, boy. Put that thing down, boy, before I put you down, boy. Good black bandana, black umbrella, black whatever. They just wanna keep the fucking right wing off the hype scene. They think we're obscene, but we think they're on a pipe dream. Like they're swimming upstream. About to run out of steam, we got the coal. Nationalist goals, nationless foes. Do you see where this goes? Melting pot up in smoke. Cause we're the proud boys who might get a little wild, boy. Been repping that shit for a while, boy. Fuck with us, we might get real loud, boy. We are proud boys, I'm a fucking proud boy. Try to take our culture and we'll put you in the ground, boy. When they hurt you, they smile wide, boy. We are proud boys, protecting our down, boy. Put that thing down, boy, before I put you down, boy. Hyping up the crowd, boy, with my fucking wild boys. We don't like the mob boys, we don't like the soy boys. They ain't got no soul, boy. We can't do it no more, boy. Voting booth, we are annoyed. Voting both, we are ignored. We just can't go back and forth. We gotta protect the north, or they will close all the stores. Keep those jobs up on our shores. We can't take it anymore, boy. Cause we're the proud boys who might get a little wild, boy. Been repping that shit for a while, boy. Fuck with us, we might get real loud, boy. I'm a proud boy, I'm a fucking proud boy. Try to take our culture and we'll put you in the ground, boy. When they hurt you, they smile wide, boy. We are proud boys, protecting our down, boy. Put that thing down, boy, before I put you down, boy.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. What's up, you Bran? So we're transitioning into Jack's show. So for anybody that's just tuning in, I saw the numbers just shot up. Check out that what I just said, man, because there's some crazy stuff going on today. It'll be on the Jack Clausen Radio Network. And this is an important one, man. This is an important one. If you guys ever tune into, if this is your first show, I highly recommend that you listen to that one. It'll be up probably tonight, late tonight. On all streaming platforms under the Jack Clausen Radio Network. Just to summarize it, the news called me a proud boy today because of that song. And the point I'm trying to make is that we can't be afraid to express ourselves. You know what I mean? We got to live free. And if you have a thought crime in your head, it doesn't make you a bad person. You know, I didn't make that song because I'm in that group or that I'm like even affiliated with it. I don't even know any of these people. I just felt like that. Well, because I was like living in an RV, having a bad time in my life, and I watched BLM take over a police precincts and burn down, courtrooms. So I just felt like, if that was my town, I'd be a proud boy. So that's it for me today, folks. I love you people. Be brave, live free, take your vitamin D, and hug your family on thoughtcrimes.ca.